Okay, so back on track. Um, okay, we were wondering how long it took to write the script and the music, and how long was your rehearsal process?
Okay.
Oh boy. Let's do it. I'm going
Do
to
it
try
in
to give you the
parts.
shortest possible answer.
Yeah.
I'd say the script took about a month. Rehearsal time, we had 2.5 weeks. But in those 2.5 weeks, the first week sort of didn't really count because I didn't have like Ron, Harry, Hermione, Draco, Ginny, all the main cast,
Wow.
besides Voldemort and Quirrell, were all in a different show at the same time. So I'd say really we had a week and a couple days.
Yeah, the script took, what was it, man?
A month
The
about?
script took a month, but the vast majority of everything, the design, the production, the direction, the song writing, everything was done in about a week and a half. And like when we had our first read through, and like the show was cast with maybe, I don't know, 30% of the show done. I don't know if you want to change those percentages around.
I don't think so. I'd say maybe 50. No, 50. I don't. Yeah, 30's a 30's a good number.
Decent. About 30% of the show was done. The script was there and being worked on, and we were still just nothing was pretty much put together. Everything was thrown together in the last week and a half. And like I was saying earlier, it was such a crazy time because it was the end of the year. Seniors were graduating. We had exams. And we were involved in other shows, other productions. People have work. There's just so much going on because it's college, and you have homework to worry about, and it was so insane. I stayed up for about maybe 50 some odd hours straight, working on this show and going to class, and I lived in the same building for about 2 days where I would just go to class, sleep, write songs all night, and just eat granola bars and Red Bulls. It was a crazy experience, and that's why we're so glad that it turned out to be as fun and well received as it was. So yeah, it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. The songs were, there's a video on our Starkid Potter channel of Bonnie, who plays Hermione, made a behind the scenes video where Voldemort's going down and missing you was learned literally the day
before the
show.
The final dress rehearsal.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They were the week. I can safely say that Hermione, Granger Danger, Dragon Song, those two songs were written the week of the show.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it was crazy, but people learned it.
Yeah.
And it worked. So it was done very last minute. Basement Arts, which is the group that does our that we do all our shows in.
Yeah.
Are always like that. You put on a show every week for free in 2.5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want to know how you cast the show. Did you have auditions? Did you cast your friends? Did you have certain people in mind, or?
Well, I had auditions because you're supposed to, and I told everybody I didn't have the show pre-cast, but kind of did. I just it was pretty much everybody that's in the play is everyone I know. I don't know anybody else, so. I always knew that Darren was going to be Harry Potter. I always knew Joey was going to be Ron. I always knew Joe Walker was going to be Voldemort. But I found a bunch of great new people that I never thought would be in the show. I didn't know Snape was going to be in the show, and he's awesome. I didn't know Dumbledore, Dylan, was going to be in the show, and he did awesome. Bellatrix, Cedric, those guys I found in auditions. So. I guess it was, a little bit of everything.
We're a very small theater student community in the University of Michigan. So whether you're in musical theater or theater design or just basic sort of acting, it's so small, and we all go to the same parties, the same shows, the same classes. It's just this very inherently small pool of people. So everybody who was in it was either already our good friends or people that we were kind of acquaintances with. So it wasn't like we had to go out and search for who would be this person or that person. It was just kind of our pals. And this theater company, Basement Arts, is just totally free, really chilled out, kind of relaxed theater company that's just this student group where everything is just for fun, and you throw something together. Like, so, it's not as crazy professionally planned as many people perceive we are. But that's not to say we aren't professional.
Yeah.
But it is to say that we're not professional.
What made you think of casting Lauren Lopez as Draco?
Oh, well, it's weird. I wanted Lauren involved in the show from very early on.
And she's involved with pretty much everything.
She's involved in everything I do. I just like having her in stuff.
The year before, the Harry Potter musical, Matt directed Lord of the Rings play where she played.
Where she played Frodo. Only Frodo was a girl. I just have this. I have this habit of casting her as little British boys.
Yeah.
Or girls, but.
And she's also in Little White Lie.
Yeah, she's also in Little White Lie, but not as a little British boy.
Yeah.
But I wanted her involved, but originally she was slated to play Hermione. I sort of promised her that. And then the more I was thinking about it, I was like, man, I really want Bonnie to be Hermione. And I was like, oh man, Lauren's gonna freak out because I said she could be in the show, and then if I say no, you can't be, I didn't want to make her upset. So it was stressing me out because I couldn't think of another big part she'd be really good at, and it would be crazy not to use her because she's so good, and I always use her. So I also didn't have anybody for Draco. I was like, man, I don't know a blonde guy that could be a really awesome Draco. And then it occurred to me one day, oh, why don't I just put these two things together? And she ended up being so much better of a Draco than I ever could have imagined. It ended up working out so well. Draco being a girl is what makes Draco work.
And just a little factoid, there were other characters that were in the show sort of as jokes early on that we cut.
Yeah, we had to cut.
But for instance, we had our friend Sarah. We wanted her to play Lucius Malfoy, and that would have been super cool because you would have had two beautiful blonde girls playing this
snooty jerks.
Yeah, Sarah has this beautiful sort of flowing blonde hair, and
She's
it
got
just would
this
have been
huge mane of blonde
hair, and it would have been so perfect,
funny
especially
to see her
with
walking around.
little Lauren as her daughter,
or her son,
her evil son. So so that would have been a cool parallel for the actresses playing the male roles, but it worked out perfectly. So
all right. And my next question is, why did you characterize Cho Chang like you did?
Jeez. Again, I don't know. I thought it was a lot of stuff is just because we thought it was funny.
Yeah, all things. Every answer is usually we thought it would be funny. I mean, so Songo is also in the department, good friend of ours. She she's clearly and blatantly the Asian girl, and if you're saying, okay, we got to cast a Cho Chang, the obvious choice would be to be, okay, let's make Songo do it. But it's just too obvious, and it's just you don't want to give people that satisfaction. So
yeah,
it just ended up being so much more funny.
When the cast list came out and it said Devin Lytle as Cho Chang, Songo as Lavender Brown, everybody thought it was a typo. They're like, Matt, you screwed up. You made a typo. And only a couple people got it and thought it was funny. Joe Walker read it and went, ha ha ha, and he really liked it. But
I think it's great. I think
it worked out okay.
It's super funny. So.
I like that people accepted it because I was like, I don't know, it's kind of stupid.
That goes for a lot of stuff. There's a lot of jokes that I cannot believe have flown. I mean, between fan art and things, there are so many little jokes every 2 seconds that we think are funny, and that as being in the show you think it's funny, but you just never think it's gonna fly. And the next thing you know, someone makes a Facebook flare or some kind of piece of fan art that says it or mentions it, and it's so cool. We have so many references to other influences that we love. I can't believe that people picked up on the ATAR references. I couldn't believe that.
Oh yeah, Avatar. We reference Avatar: The Last Airbender in the vaguest possible ways, but people figure it out. Yeah. It's very fun.
It's awesome, and people there's Aladdin references, there's Ghostbuster references.
Yeah. Pig farts. I never ever thought was gonna fly.
I never.
Never.
So people love that.
Yeah.